Hi, welcome to I'm Powered by Love TV. My name is Josh here, back with our SOULMATE SOULSCOPE readings. This is for our Taurus Decam 1 friends, so welcome in. Your birthdays are from April 20th through April 30th. I do want to appreciate you guys tuning in here. These are Akashic Records soul readings here, which are from your soul books tied to your horoscope. And we're going to be channeling down the energies from the 14th through the 31st of December. We're also going to be doing a 2021 predictions, so stay tuned for those. And right now, we'll go ahead and jump right into the reading. All right, welcome guys. All right, so we get started on our reading here for our energies from the 14th to the 31st. I'm hearing a lot already about love for you guys for these 2 weeks. Kind of wanting to feel the warm fuzzies and all those things that we're searching for, as well as the connection, deeper connection with our relationships that some of us are currently in. And we're wanting to know where that's going to lead. We're wanting to know, is this going to be it for me, or are they feeling the same way? And so there's a lot of questions here, mostly about love at this time. Did ask about the other sectors in your life, and it doesn't seem to be even popping anywhere near you right now. You're more focused on relationships, things around you, and people around you, and who you're dealing with here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here with our cards. We're gonna pull out here 4 for you, and we're also gonna get these analogy deck shuffle here just to hear about next steps and things like that. As we get through, get going here. Let's start with these things here. So, this one. As far as the answer that I'm hearing, is this going to be the one for you, or is this going to be, am I going to find it? Where is it? Kind of searching for those who are searching, but those who are in relationships or wanting to know about if this is going to either be taken to the next level, or if this is going to be, the right relationship for me, for those who are in brand new ones. And they're saying this is going to take some inner work to kind of see the growth come through on both ends, both sides of the coin here. And so it's where it's popping out right here to heal. It's tied to the heart here, and it's also, I like how it's rooted down. Having that love rooted in ourself and the self-love is going to allow you to actually see the answer for yourself, because we can't really talk for the other person in this party. We can only speak for you here and your energies towards them, and how you are receiving them at this time. So opening up and having that healing state is definitely, because definitely something that they want you to start looking at right now, and holding yourself in a nurturing aspect. I love both of these cards here for you, healing and nurture. Being able to kind of coddle it like a baby, the love for the self and how we feel ourselves being in this relationship and being deserving of the love that we're looking for, will allow it to grow and flourish through these 2 weeks, and as well as continue this into the next year here in 2021. So this is where we're talking about a balance in the energies that you have. And I like that this card came out here, because this is one of the sectors here that we kind of left out in the dust. And right now we're trying to they're telling me, make up for lost time throughout the year. You've been so focused on so many other things that love has always kind of been on a back burner for you. You've tossed it aside, you've dabbled in it, but decided, now it's not for me, or couldn't find someone at the time. And so right now, during the season, you're screaming it. it's just coming out super loud. So when we find that balance in loving ourselves and how, one more, and loving ourselves and how we want to be loved and see this relationship, it'll allow you to employ the tactic of self-love in all areas to have a nice growing balance, a nice pillar in each area: finances, stability in self, love, family, relationships with friends and things like that. All that will kind of grow simultaneously when we come and begin to heal and nurture ourselves at this time. There are some fears here because we are afraid, which is why we're asking, is this going to be it, or am I going to find the one? Is this going to be the one for me? So choose your battles. This is the one that they just came out here and told me to pull, because we have to choose where we put our energy at this time. Our intentions need to be there. We can't just let it, if you just kind of toss it up in the air, you're going to just kind of fall right back into a subconscious program and allow that to take over, and it's going to ruin, pretty much ruin all the work that we're already trying to achieve. All this work that we've put forth at the beginning of the year is going to come to kind of a crumble if we can't come to the self and understand the fears and the things that are holding us back from opening up into this relationship, which is the cause of the question. Because this is what you're seeking for, and this is what, when we begin to heal and nurture ourselves and do find this balance, you can obtain this joy and stability that you so deserve, that you so desire. Okay, so we're going to jump in right into our next steps here. So we already did shuffle this, but I'm going to do one more good one here, and one did already pop out. And the first one here that popped out earlier: adjustments are required. So these are going to be some things that we're going to need to start working on at this time. Finding the fears of this abandonment, of losing what we have, and it's really only pertaining to the love sector. It seems to have been hurt quite a bit, seen kind of crumble relationships, family relationships as well, and just not having a right idea, or I guess not necessarily a right idea, but a right way of being taught how love actually works. So you kind of are trying to figure all these things out on your own at this time, but you have seen and understand. You can look at these things and take out, okay, well, obviously I don't want this, but there's some things that you do want. So you shouldn't treat someone like this, and you want to understand how to treat them like this, in a love and a joyous and again nurturing and healing space for them. So these adjustments are going to be required at this time to hold and focus on this intention to allow these energies to move forward. Tell me, emotions are running high, and you feel that right now, and you know that, you are aware of this. You are seeing these things fly all over the place, of loneliness to love to maybe I found someone to, man, I just can't seem to get it right, or you know what, screw this, I'm done, I'm over with. And so all these things are going over, and they want you to go and find the balance first within the self, begin the healing, okay? And then they say, another step here, time to give rather than take. And this is giving to the self, this is giving and opening to others, allowing you to actually open your heart to love at this time. It is hard to do for you. You've closed and you have so many barriers and so many things that are you're almost making excuses for why you haven't gone further in trying to obtain a relationship, or further in the relationship that you're in. And you're just like, well, things are good at this point. I'm comfortable. I'm good. But you're feeling a distance, and that's almost like you're starting to feel like, well, maybe I should. I think it's time. And you want to make these changes. And this is where, again, going back to your emotions are running high. So choosing the direction you want to go, choosing the intention on where you see yourself, and how you want to hold this relationship and grow it, and be able to, for those who are seeking, be able to attract this mate in your life. So we're going to go ahead and take a time here, and I want to invite you guys here to stay tuned, because we're going to go ahead and get right into our 2021 predictions. All right, my Taurus Decam 1 friends, we're going to go ahead and get into our 2021 predictions. Before we do, we kind of want to know our energies that we're going to have for the year. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off with our soul lesson. This will be kind of like what we're going to be working through in this year, almost like our, almost kind of like our, I guess your soul, your energy through the year. The one thing that we're going to need to work towards trying to be taught at this time, because with great change comes a lesson. So we kind of want to know what that is going to be, so that way we can be ready and start working towards it already in this time. And for you guys, it's going to be freedom. This is a freedom of all these insecurities that we hold on to ourselves, a lot of these boundaries that we've placed, freedom from our own self-limitations, they're saying, that we've put upon ourselves on how we hold and how we grow. You've hindered in certain areas, and so a lot of this portion has to do with love and being able to grow that for ourselves, and then being able to hold that space for others. We get into relationships and we start moving, and it just becomes a hard task for us to kind of keep that, and we try to and involve ourselves in our things because we feel like, okay, we got it, but then it dwindles and we wonder why. And we've put this, and we have to become free of these things and these insecurities of ourselves, of how we see ourselves, who we see ourselves as, and that we actually deserve these things. So freedom is going to be one of the big notions here for you guys in 2021. And now we're going to go ahead and get into kind of our special ability, our power that we have. And this power could have been something that was taught this year in 2020, something that you learned, the lesson that we went through, something that we've kind of already had with us, been within us the whole time. Maybe we're just now becoming aware of it, or maybe we've been aware of it and we haven't been utilizing it to the best of our abilities. So we want to be known, and this is going to help you obtain that freedom. You might actually use that one for your, if you saw that as I was shuffling here, this third deck here is for your path on. So because of the fact that really just jumped out when I was shuffling, so that is going to be your healing path, and we'll get to that in just a moment, because we want to talk first about our ability. We have the moon, and I love that that's for you guys, because being Taurus, and being some of you are very determined, very headstrong, very will-powered, and they want you to tune more into your listening abilities, being able to hear your soul, being able to hear yourself. And this comes with a connection and loving the way we are and loving who we are, and coming into this shedding of all these fears, all these things that we justify of why we can't do this and why we don't have this and why we're not doing this at this time, and making all these other things more important than what we actually crave, and then believing in that, kind of creating our own self-belief and limitations again. And so this power that we have of being able to hear and growing in, they're telling me this is something that you've recently come upon, is being more intuitive, being more hearing more from your soul on guidance and little things that you need to change. And they're bringing this to your awareness at this time, and they want you to know that, because when you connect to that, it does start to shed and start to break you free. And they're telling me that you've been implementing this here since September. So you're starting to see some forward movements just in our mental capacity, and they want you to continue and continue further. And we're going to go into the healing path here because this popped out right for you guys. And the gift of connection, I do like this. I do also like it for you guys because it is in the crown chakra where we hear a lot of our messages come from. Your higher self sits there, and it is the one of the spots here where your soul will speak through. So the connection comes from the self, but then it also attracts the connection of the relationship that we're seeking, the connection to others. So this is going to be the path, and opening ourselves up to these connections is going to allow this healing energy to flow through us through 2021 to obtain and grow this relationship. As we were asking earlier, is this the one, or is this? Am I going to find this relationship soon? Is love going to be coming in my way soon? So there's a few questions for you guys. I'm hearing for those who are in current relationships, also hearing for those who are seeking, because there's quite a bit of you here. So I am excited, and I do see, if we continue to listen to ourselves and open ourselves up to these messages that come through. And it's also a numerical 27. That is my favorite number, by the way. It is a whole number, 279. So that is beautiful. This connection will begin to come. You'll begin to let go and shed and learn this lesson of freedom in self and in love in itself. So now we're going to go ahead and get started on the deeper 2021 predictions on our upcoming year. So stay tuned. All right, Taurus Decan ones, the moment we've all been waiting for. So we're going to go right into our 2021 predictions. We're going to start here. We know our sights are right now set on love. And they're saying that the next year should be focused on love, because you strayed away from that, and you realized it. They're saying too late in this year, and I really don't want that to happen to you again. Otherwise, you will be expecting more delays, more setbacks, and this will start to seep over into other areas, because they all work together and they all work in a synergistic balance, as we saw earlier with that energy balance card, being able to balance those energies. They want you to be able to do that in this year, and with the power energies that you guys have, it'll start coming out, and you'll start seeing it as more. So let's go ahead and talk about this here for our upcoming 2021 year, because we are starting to move forward. And they say here, we start first by taking the steps, and it all starts with one step forward, one step inward, actually, they're saying. So one step inward, slowly looking at ourselves in the mirror of these barriers, these limitations, these things that have been constantly keeping us from obtaining this relationship and this love that we so cherish and want at this time. So as we take the step inward, I like how this is also an intention card, because that is the intention that they want you to set for this year. Don't neglect yourself anymore. Your higher self's been calling out to you, you've been hearing it, and it even came out in the cards. We'll talk about that here in just a moment with these two. And they want you to come to the knowledge of and the power that you have when you stand in the love of self and manifest the life through it. You've been going through will, putting things forward, being creative in it, and allowing it. And they're saying this is not gonna fly anymore, because reason being is because some of these have either malice intentions or intentions that don't necessarily aid you in any way, and they're hurting others. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but it is a kind of, they're saying what's the word, bifactor, not a bifactor, just kind of like a what is the word? I can't think of the word. We'll think of it in a second. It is the kind of byproduct. Thank you. Byproduct, byfactor, one of the two. It's the byproduct of the intentions that we've set of manifesting these things and trying to get ahead and trying to move ourselves forward, which causes all these other areas in our life to be affected by it. So as we take the inner steps, take the steps inward, take the inner steps, your higher self was starting to talk to you at this time. You've been hearing, you've been focusing more on these intuitiveness and kind of connecting to them and yourself, and they want you to continue to do so and continue this growth, and you've been feeling good about it. They're saying that you've felt a little lighter. You're seeing things start to change for yourself. You're seeing things start to change, but they want you to go deeper and hold it as a sacred space, because it will allow you, and they will allow you, and you and your higher self will be a power to be a force to be reckoned with. They say as you begin to move forward, you'll begin to hold on to the things that you manifest instead of fighting to keep them all the time. They say it's been a struggle because we've been dealing with so many fears, again, of abandonment and losing and seeing scarcity and not wanting to go down into those depths. So by taking the steps inward to our higher selves and listening clearly, we'll start to see these things unfold. I'm just hearing July, August. It takes some time because you're going to have to dig deep. They're saying this is going to be a time for you to dig deep. But when we do, and you are starting to break these barriers, and you begin to feel these moments of hopelessness and these moments of I can't continue to do this. This is, I can't go any further. I really need help. To hold gratitude for taking the initiative on healing the self, taking the initiative on moving forward, taking the initiative to better your life and get the things that you deserve and so desire to hold and keep. They say you get some of these things and don't necessarily hold them because you're like, I just got it because I did this, this, and this, or I knew this person, so and so. And so having gratitude for ourselves and gratitude, holding that vibration will allow you to push through these limitations and these insecurities and these barriers that we've built up over, we're saying, our whole lives. We're saying we've just been piling and piling and piling and piling, and then we turn around and we build. We're shutting off love, and then we'll go back and be like, I gotta try and I want this. It's too hard, it's too deep, too much. Let me put some putty on that and go back to what I was doing. It's just like, I'll get to that later. That'll come later. I'll break that down later. And now you're turning around and like it's just massive wall. And you're like, oh well, shit. Now what do I do? And they're giving you these messages and they're telling you to turn inward, and you're hearing what to do. I told you those next steps. You're making these adjustments, beginning to move forward, because this is what we're looking for, and this is the energies that you can bring forth. They're saying it's going to take some time for this happy success that you so see yourself as, and this is in all areas. This is not just success in career or in a status in society. This is a success for the self in all areas of loving who we are, standing in our truth, having the loving relationship that we so deserve and desire, boom, which goes back to true love at this time, which is what has been our driving factor at the end of this year. And so if we continue to hold this intention of wanting and healing and moving these things forward, we'll start to see it come as a significant other. And for those who are seeking, like, is this the one for me? Well, you have to understand, are you the one for you first? Because you've been doing all these different things and you don't necessarily know who you are because you've just kind of lived in this outside world. So you have to come back to the self, boom, taking the steps inward, getting to that sacred space and hearing the higher self of what needs to be done to heal and move these limitations and insecurities to allow you to let this true love grow between you and your partner. And it's going to be tough, so that's why they told you to hold gratitude. Now, we're going to go ahead and go right into our, tell me, don't really need any clarity. That's pretty clear, pretty straightforward for you guys. So we'll go ahead and get the answer here of, is the love coming? And is this going to be the love for me at this time? Because that is the ultimate question that you guys have been bringing this whole time. You keep bringing it back to me every time. So we're going to find that out for you guys here. I do implore you guys here to check out the Self-Love Club, and also for those who are in relationships or seeking for relationships or even talking to someone, be sure to check out your partner's zodiac sign for the or SOULSCOPE, excuse me, to see exactly what they're going through, what their energies are like, what their predictions are like, so that way you can kind of see and maybe match things up and see, what's going on. Maybe we can work on this together and kind of move through these things. So don't forget to check that out. And here is your answer. Compromise. And this, they're saying here, this is about opening up with the self here. A compromise of, all right, maybe I won't maybe I won't focus my energy on this. This is going back to that balance. Having that balance with the self, compromising. All right, so we're going to do this, or I'm going to focus on this intention, on this love, and bringing this into the self and healing this at this time. So it is time. I would say, they're telling me this answer depends on you. So it can go both ways. That is the compromise that they want me to settle with you here today, because it can go both ways, and you have to be the one to make that decision at this time. So I do want to appreciate you guys here for tuning in here. That's why I'm powered by Love TV and our Soul Scopes with our 2021 predictions. Don't forget here, if this does resonate with you here, put one of these emojis here on the comments down below. If it was our either love or kind of money clarity here on one of these things here. Comment down below. We love to hear the feedback. And don't forget, like I said earlier, when you go ahead and check out your partner's Soul Scope, drop your zodiac sign so that way we can see, who's kind of talking, who's talking to who, and we'll be able to talk to you guys back and let us know how everything is working out, because we want to hear from you guys. So, thank you again for tuning in. My name is Josh, sending you love and light, and I'm signing out.